Let's get right into the news. You know who it is, folks. It's your favorite president, 4547. We're going to be declassifying some unidentified aerial phenomenon on today's episode. UFOs, orbs, UAPs, and we might even be finding, that's right, folks, quite frankly, the mothership. That's right. Your favorite president found maybe the mothership UFO. We even might have ties to what could be the Los Angeles fires, but we're not going to get into that right now. We're going to get right into the news, as I said, over one of my favorite states, New Jersey. We have one of the first and greatest sightings. Quite frankly, folks, this might be the mothership.
All right, here we go. Possible drone sighting. Newark, New Jersey. If you watch The Sopranos much, Tony, not going to get into it. This was filmed from a passenger jet, commercial jet, flying over New Jersey, going I don't know where, but it looks to me like the planet Saturn, you know. It's in our solar system. It has the rings around it. However, have you ever seen anyone ever film Saturn like that with their camera? If you had your phone camera, okay, let's run through the scenario here. You have your phone camera and you're filming out the window of your passenger commercial jet, right? A light in the sky. And somehow it has a ring around it like Saturn. I listen, folks. You can go outside on any day and try to film Saturn. Go ahead, take your iPhone, take your Android. Just don't take your Motorola Razr. Oh, sorry, I can't help. We had to have a little comedy here, and go film. Try to find Saturn first of all in the sky. You probably won't get an image as clear as this. Every time I filmed it, it's always been very blurry. This looks more like a drone or pulsating orb, and given the size of it, I say this could possibly be like super drone material. And I don't want to say mothership, but we're going to give more arguments towards this as we take note of where it is in relation to the rest of the city below. We can sort of calculate the distance, right? If this was a star, it wouldn't be moving and keeping pace with some of the cityscape below, if you know what I mean. This looks like in three-dimensional space it's a lot closer than some of the background buildings. I want you to pay attention, okay? Some of the background lights in coordinated Z space, so forward away from this, right? Some of these move less than this does, which means this is in the foreground on a plane sort of around here, whereas those lights are further from it. Do you get what I'm saying? I don't know how to explain it succinctly, clearer than that, but just take note of the lights in the background in relation to this. This thing seems to be here. This light should be moving. This light seems like it's further away than that is. That seems like it's right above this building. Okay? And you know how we can tell is by how much distance they're moving in relation to each other. People say this does kind of look like Saturn. I can listen. I'm not ruling anything out. I can see that argument completely. However, just given our understanding of spatial relations, right? And just looking at all our lights, this is moving a lot different than a star in the sky. The stars should be the furthest thing, basically stationary, if you can even perceive them. And what I mean, even in that realm, right? Look, it's a cloudy night. You're not really seeing stars. And again, this was filmed just before New Year's Eve, late last year. It's so weird to say, but I'm chalking this up to super drone and considerably larger than most of the other drones we've seen. This is much brighter, pulsating, and it's giving us a larger profile. We can't even really tell how big this thing could be. And it actually could be a TR-3B triangle shape. We don't know because we can't see the rest of the lights or any other indication of it, but it could be anything. And I am definitely chalking this up to drone, and not just the normal sized drones that none of the drones have been normal. This is definitely substantially larger than any of the other drones we've been seeing and covering on this channel. Anyway, we're going to get into more UAPs and UFOs right now. And here we have a possible orb sighting at Philadelphia Airport, Philadelphia, January 11th, 2025. I want you to pay attention to all the lights in the frame of this video. These are weird, dude. Oh, yeah. So it looks to me like these two orbs, which are pulsating, are substantially higher than any of the infrastructure at this airport. And if that's a flight control tower, it's got to be pretty high, whatever this building is. And maybe there's a few other large buildings. Or if this is struts for a bridge, I don't know. I'm just trying to gauge how tall these are. These have to be like way up in the sky. But this one did give a signature red flash there, which has been known to be in the traits of the drones, people. The drones are in Philly. And you know, Philadelphia isn't that far from New Jersey. But again, it's hard to tell. This camera didn't zoom in too good. However, even though this one's also flashing red here, these I'm gonna chalk them up as orbs because we just don't have better, clearer evidence to say they're not. They're pulsating like an orb does. They're displaying classic orb behavior. But seeing a red glow from that kind of does take me into the notion that they could be drones, and it's just they're very bright. However, if this is above an airport, you can see why the lights on the airport they have to be that bright so that a plane can land. These aren't planes. This was moving really weird. This one here takes off over that way. What do you have in the sky that's that bright? Nothing man-made, right? Like, it doesn't make sense. And this is at 5:30 at night. If we could get the flight radar, I'd be curious to see if these did pop up on radar. These are definitely not planes. Suspicious movement here. It's like with the orbs kind of scare me a bit. It's like when they know they're being filmed, they start doing weirder and weirder stuff. Now we have one from January 10th in Staten Island, New York City. Watch this.
Came out the cloud, went back up in the cloud,
this light,
get higher to go across.
And this woman filming it, who has done a great job. This is crazy, okay? This is now I can see that it's a drone. Before I was chalking it up as an orb. This thing is really high-powered light, too. Look how it was just melting through these cloud coverage. And how high are these clouds that this thing is basically melting through them, right? Illuminating huge portions of clouds. It looks like there might even be another one going on over there. As it flies through these clouds, how high up is this? And if it's that high up, or I don't imagine the cloud coverage in New York City,
Now, I know
right?
y'all just seen
Which is
what it did,
at
right?
sea level,
I know
right?
that
I'm
y'all
not
just
wrong
saw
here.
how it came out the cloud, went
That
back
these
up in the
things are
cloud
flying
to
up
get
into
higher
the
to go
clouds,
across. Y'all can't tell me
illuminating
y'all
the
didn't just
clouds
see
from
that.
behind, so they're very powerful lights. And how now the other question is how big is this thing? Okay? You've seen people, if you've seen planes go behind clouds flying in the daytime, they never, you can imagine how big a plane is, a passenger jet or any other jet. You can sort of guess how big it is. This thing must be absolutely massive if it's flying behind clouds like that. Unless the cloud coverage is very low, it doesn't look like it's that
Now,
low.
I know y'all just seen what it did,
Maybe
right?
these ones are.
I know
I
that y'all
can't
just
tell.
saw how
But still,
it came
how,
out the cloud,
and
went back
secondly,
up
how
in the
bright
cloud
is this
to get
thing?
higher to go across.
You've
Y'all
seen
can't tell me
planes.
y'all didn't just see
You've
that.
seen planes in hell. If you've gone out, I can go out on a cloudy night, cloudy day, right? Anytime. Well, let's say night. And I've seen planes fly behind clouds, but I've never seen planes light up clouds. Okay, have you? Have you seen a plane light up a cloud this brightly from however far that away is? I haven't, and I never will. That's acting more like the moon over there, which is alarming. Now, how big this potentially could be, I'm saying it could be a passenger
know y'all just
jet-sized
seen
drone.
what
So
it
when we
did,
said
right?
mega drone earlier, when I
know
said
that y'all just
mothership
saw
in,
how
your favorite,
it came out
your
the
45
cloud,
and
went back up
47
in the
voice,
cloud to get higher to
this
go across.
potentially is what I'm talking about.
Y'all can't tell
Mothership
me
in
y'all
New
didn't
York
just see
City
that.
over Staten Island. If this is, in fact, jet size, that would be one of the biggest drones ever created. And with lights that huge, it must be having massive power outputs to even be producing a light that big. Folks, the whole media cover-up on these drones is alarming, especially when you're seeing larger and more powerful ones like these bigger ones over the past few days emerge in major metropolitan areas, okay? Along the eastern seaboard. People have been like, okay, the mainstream media
Now, I know y'all just
has
seen
been
what it did,
like,
right?
these drones
I
don't
know
exist
that y'all
anymore.
just saw how
They said after the
it
FAA
came
flight
out the
order
cloud, went back
went
up
in,
in
the
the cloud
restrictions
to
over
get
the
higher to
tri-state,
go
or well,
across.
New Jersey and the
Y'all
tri-state
can't tell
area,
me y'all didn't just see that.
that the drone issue totally subsided. Lady, have you been doing something we can't talk about on stream? There's new videos every hour. Look at this. This is crazy. This is some of the most damning drone footage we've ever seen. I've never seen anything do that. And now this could be just fog layer. I don't think that it is. These look more like clouds. But if it is just a fog layer, then this could all be much smaller in scale. But dude, have you ever seen fog sort of roll like that? No, it's like a giant sheet
Now,
of
I
fog.
know
It would
y'all
totally
just seen
screw up the
what
whole
it did,
camera
right?
settings.
I know that y'all just saw how it came
And we can
out
kind
the
of
cloud,
guess how
went
high
back
it
up
is.
in the
Like,
cloud
how
to
am I
get
supposed to
higher
guess
go
how high it
across.
is? If this is Staten Island, right?
Y'all can't tell
She
me
could
y'all
be
didn't
filming
just see
out
that.
towards the ocean for all I know, and these clouds are that far away. This isn't a plane. This is doing weird movements. It's not... A plane would be generally... And I've seen planes come in from the ocean, right? Albeit down in Florida. Okay? They come in at basically a straight line. They don't start doing, hey, I'm going to go here. I'm going to be over here now. Over here. No. They'll come in at basically a straight line. Boom for the airport. And land. If they have to do a turnaround, then they'll do a turnaround around their target. But they're not going to do all this. No. Not at all, people.
Now, I
Not at
know
all.
y'all just seen what it did, right?
They won't go this
I know
direction,
that y'all just saw
come
how
down here,
it
turn
came out the
around.
cloud, went
No,
back up in
that's
the
not
cloud
happening.
to get higher to go across.
This is probably some of the
Y'all can't
best
tell me y'all didn't just see that.
unexplained drone footage we've seen. And here we go, people, in Ocean City, New Jersey, January 11th, the day before yesterday. Look at this. These are drones, okay? People are saying they could be planes. Planes, especially commercial planes, don't fly that close together. These are just reflections from inside the car. This thing, though. You have one going right over here. Watch this. Then we have another one coming right in frame. Okay, commercial jets do not fly that close together. They simply do not. It's a safety issue. So then what could it be? I've seen training. I've seen planes training, right? Smaller Cessna planes, flight school, that have filed in formation, right? Even them, they don't fly that close. It was more like there's a significant distance. I'd noticed that they were flying in the same pattern, but they'd be flying much higher up. They wouldn't be as many lights as we're seeing right here. This is a drone, potentially UFO sighting over in Ocean City. And it's actually fairly alarming. Watch this. 1. And then 2 right there. They're filming inside their car so you get some reflections, but these are definitely up in the sky. And again, you're not catching any of that classic. Look at what I'm going to say next, right? You can kind of tell the distances if this is an airplane, right? If that's an airplane, that's flying pretty low to the ground, or that's a pretty massive airplane. And what I'm saying is you didn't capture the classic airplane above, engine sound. You can, if there's an airplane flying overhead right now, you'll hear the engines whirl. Okay, you'll hear them go. You can hear them. I go outside. If I hear engines roaring, and look, I'll see an airplane. Okay, even if I see the airplane first and hear the engines later, I mean, the sound will be apparent. Now, judging how low these would be if these were planes, right? When this comes back in frame, if something that was that low flying to the ground, you would hear the engines screaming. They would be overtaking everything said in this car, the music, everything that is being said would be essentially drowned out a little bit by the engines. Think of how loud you can hear them when they're flying way up high in the sky. They require a lot of thrust to get off the ground. Okay, people? Those engines are screaming to get them up. So you'd hear them clearly, plain as day. These things are totally silent. Why is that? Because they're drones. And remember, as I told you in the previous video, the FAA has extended the flight restrictions for the entire New Jersey area. This specific area, okay? Drone operators aren't allowed to operate until January 19th at 4 a.m. These are still going on. The mainstream media absolutely style it. But that's because sort of a different story has taken hold, and we all know what's going on over in the West Coast. And we're going to get into that right now, because there's been some strange sightings going on over there. Yes, that's right, people. The truth is, there have been a lot of UFO and orb paranormal activity surrounding these wildfires over in California, in the Los Angeles area. We're going to be watching them now. This is from January 7th, 2025. Last week. Take note of what is going on here. This is weird. These things are flying in the sky. You can see the wildfire flame right over here. These aren't buildings, folks. Cities over that way over here. Off frame. But just keep watching. These things sort of blink into existence over here. Again, this is not cityscape footage here. These are drones flying in the sky. They're not helicopters. And just keep watching. Look at that. That orb is blasting light out hugely. So this was near the start of this whole wildfire thing. We can see the wildfire emissions from here, the flames and the smoke. But I want you to keep watching, because it does something a little strange. Okay? Something, I'm not going to say damning. We're not flying too close to the sun with this, okay? But just pay attention. Why are these drones and UFO orbs going to this wildfire? Because if you saw the footage from our last video, Fox News recorded something flying out of the fires on those Hollywood hills. Something flying much too fast to be much too fast to be a standard airplane or a helicopter or sort of a water firefighting jet. They do have firefighting jets, and they are amazing to watch. But that wasn't one of them, folks. That was something else. That was like, it moved like a UFO. That's the only way I can describe it. And started floating upwards. And that was in our previous video. This again, these are orbs flying over this scene. And just keep watching. What are they doing over there? Why are they there? Now, you wouldn't have helicopters flying over it constantly, over the fire, over a standing period with that much smoke. That's a flight risk. A helicopter could easily crash with that much smoke in the area. You'd fly planes overhead, way overhead, to get a better idea of the scene, or helicopters way, way up high. These are not that. These are orbs or drones flying fairly low to the ground and, within like a couple 100 feet of where these fires are taking place. Now that's eerie, folks. I want to know what you guys think of this. And it kind of looked like, for a minute there was some strong light emissions from one of them, and then the fire sort of flared up. I'm not trying to lead anyone into any conclusions, but you examine the footage for yourself, and you guys tell me what you think. And then this one just sort of fades off into the distance. You kidding me? Like we're not going to notice? But that isn't the only one that has been spotted out over in these LA wildfires. Okay? This is a weird story, and I'm going to show you right now. So this was taken from Fox News footage during the LA fire coverage. And someone PVR'd this to go over it again. Now you're going to notice they've been filming the wildfire area, okay? The suburb area, city sort of thing going on in the hill. But what the hell is this? Okay? Watch this. What is flying right over this cloud coverage? Not cloud coverage. Oh, I'm so stupid. The wildfire smoke. Yeah, I apologize for that. What the hell is flying that fast over it? Now, it's not a water bomber, okay? It's not a water firefighting jet, because they would be dropping flame-resistant material down. I can't say the word on YouTube just because of how it is, even though that's what it's supposed to be. They wouldn't be dropping the water equivalent onto these fires. This isn't one of that. Look at the shape of it. Look at the shape of this. This thing is going much faster than a plane would be going. And consider this. This is from like a high up plane or helicopter, right? So you'd see anything that's flying low wouldn't be going that fast over the area. You'd see it flying fairly slowly, right? Well, flying at a normal speed. This is flying considerably faster, and this, mind you, this footage is slowed down. They had to slow this down for this to be filmed in the replay. If you watch it at normal speed, that's just zooming by. Another unexplained phenomena over these LA wildfires that we have no idea what this is. So I want to know in the comments section what you guys think this thing is. Okay? I don't think it's something combusting out of it or material exploding out of the fire, because this looks a lot... this is in the air, hundreds of feet in the air. To give you a perspective of what is in frame, right? The stuff being filmed down there are houses and apartment buildings all through here. This is much higher than that and closer to the camera and moving much faster. And the shape of it doesn't look like a jet, okay? There's no wings on it. This is more like a cylindrical, not a cylindrical... Sorry, Jimbo didn't have his coffee today. This is more like it's like a UFO shape. Okay, it's like a disc shape flying at incredible speeds over this wildfire, which is now, at least by my count, the third or fourth UFO. According to Christy Talman, this is actually the fifth UFO object that has been filmed over these wildfires, caught on live national TV, and showing that these UFOs and UAPs are interacting, or at least in the proximity of this natural, quote-unquote, disaster. More footage of this sort of... Now I'm going to show you more... Hold on. Whoops. Now I'm going to show you another view of the wildfires in Los Angeles. Okay, there's the whole city down below, and over there as you get closer to the Pacific. And I want you to take note of what is shown in the sky above. Okay, this light here, what was that? What was that up in the sky? Okay, you know, this is awful that's going on. But what is up here? Hold on. This is just a reflection glare, okay? This is being filmed from a jet airliner. This right here, that is not the moon, okay? That is not the moon. That moved so much faster into the frame, and it doesn't look like it's a reflection either. Just pay attention. We're going to watch it again. What the heck is that? Is that potentially a large UFO ship over the entire area? That thing did not move like an airplane, folks. That didn't move like a helicopter. That was such a dramatic and drastic movement. I don't even know what... Could that be? Potentially extraterrestrial visitors or overseers observing this wildfire natural phenomenon, because this is very strange that we're flying at a substantial height here, thousands of feet in the air, and you can see the hill all on fire here as the fires rage through, and then all of a sudden this mystery object enters the frame. I'm going to leave that with you folks to figure out on your own. Let me know in the comments section what you guys think that was. All right, continuing our orb sightings now in Littleton, Colorado. 2 days ago, January 12th, 2025, we have these mystery objects in the sky. Now, I don't know what these are. These are not like our previous orbs that we've encountered. These are orange orbs flying in the sky. And they seem to be in a holding pattern, but this one seems to be moving and interacting with that one a bit. They could be merging. We do know orbs can do that. They can merge and subdivide when spotted. This, again, strange footage over in Colorado. These UFO, UAP, and even drone sightings, as I've said, have been moving from the coasts further inland on the United States. But not only in that direction, they've also been moving abroad. And I'm surprised that none of these coverages have been in the media for the past 2 weeks. It's like all the news stations have gone completely dead silent on these unexplained phenomena in our skies, the lights that are above most of these cities being filmed every day. It's like it never even happened, and it's being essentially swept under the rug for what could be possibly the largest amount of sightings they've only spiked since mid-December that we've ever encountered as, and I hate to say it, as a human race. As in the entire history of humanity, has there ever been so much unexplained aerial phenomena footage presented? I doubt that. I don't think there has been. It's like the Phoenix Lights every night out here. And this is in Littleton, Colorado. What do you guys think these are? Some people said Chinese lanterns. I do not think these are. I do not think the Chinese lanterns would be glowing so brightly or making such abrupt moves as these two do in the sky. This is more, and it actually, I hate to say this, but if you watched or read any of the initial Phoenix Lights reports, the initial onset, the lights looked white in the footage seen over the city, but the initial reports, as the shape went over, and I'm calling it a shape, the unidentified object went over the area, they started out as dark red. And you know what? These lights are kind of in that dark red orange sort of hue that was classically associated with the Phoenix Lights. When the Phoenix Lights started up and when they stopped, people claimed they were seeing dark red, orange lights in the sky above them that just emerged out of nowhere, and then they turned into that sort of white light that we saw in the actual Phoenix Lights footage. But this is crazy, and it could be, and they you can kind of make the argument that they're in that sort of shape there. But maybe it's just orbs trying to present that I don't know. All right, you want to get weird? Well, we're getting weird here, and this is in Schuylkill County, Pennsylvania. This was on January 12th, 2 days ago, folks, 2025. What is this? This looks more, if you've seen that sort of butterfly UFO, that there's images all around the internet now. It has a plasmatic pattern that's coming out of, like, and it kind of looks like a butterfly, a monarch butterfly pattern, but it's actually a plasmatic energy field being generated in that. But if you were to take a picture of it, or the easiest way to describe it is it kind of looks like the monarch butterfly pattern, but it's really just plasmatic energy, and there's sort of grates around it that kind of look like that. This reminds me completely of that. This is one of the weirder ones in the sky. Now, this could be multiple different ships, or it could be one larger ship just casting lights down. However, when I talk about the butterfly one, I'm going to just draw out the shape with the mouse cursor here. That's what the butterfly ship sort of looks like. It's not it's not like Close Encounters of the Third Kind where it's like this spherical thing here casting lights down and these are all below it. It's more shaped to where the lights are, and it kind of looks like a stingray fly. Well, you know how I said a butterfly? It kind of looks like a stingray as well in its shape pattern. And why I draw allusions to this is because the plasmatic glow and energy field on the butterfly UFO is the same as this one. The exact same. Almost the exact same. There are some differences, but this reminds me deeply of that. And this is filmed out in the woods. This isn't some person with a drone, okay? In the middle of the woods, film like threw their drone up and putting on a light show. The lights required to illuminate that big of an area and be seen, and with that clarity, would weigh the drone down. So consumer grade drone could not carry that many lights of that high quality. You're talking lights that you would spend hundreds of dollars on to be seen that far away. And you know how heavy those lights are? Sure, you could get some LED lights and blast them. You'd still end up having to have a whole bunch of them attached to a drone flying in the sky for it to even get close enough to this effect. And they would weigh the consumer drone down so much that it wouldn't fly. That it simply would be too heavy to take off. So this is one of the stranger ones. I totally attribute that to being the butterfly UFO with the plasmatic field. Let me know what you guys think this is. And again, this was filmed over in Pennsylvania, January 12th, just at 7 p.m. Imagine seeing this in your backyard, okay? You went out, maybe for a walk. It's a little creepy out in the woods at night and cold, not to mention freezing cold. And then all of a sudden you see this glowing object in the middle of the sky. The woman filming this is being a lot more composed than I would be. Now, I almost had my own encounter with a drone. Unfortunately, I didn't get to film it because my camera roll is full. However, if I find, and I should happen to stumble upon one again and film it for you guys, would you guys be interested in seeing that? Because there have been a little more activity in my area that I would like to show if I can see, not if I can see it, but if another one flies overhead, maybe I'll try to capture it for you guys. With the camera, not other means. Anyway, thank you guys for your support, and I hope you guys have been enjoying these videos. I have had a ball going through these with you and hopefully trying to understand more of what these unexplained aerial phenomenon are that have been emerging all around, well, the world basically. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you guys in the next episode.